ready for your punishment, slave.
I sometimes scream out, no, when really I mean yes.
Yes, yes!
And this is why we have the safe word. Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
She's not a Christian!
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
Hey, this is Jason Rouse. Before we start the show, I just wanted to tell you I have a show coming up here in Los Angeles on September 16th at 11:30 p.m. I will be performing at the Hollywood Improv with a series of comedic hijinks and terrorist tactics. So come down. You can get tickets at Laugh Stub. And also on September 6th at the Santa Barbara Comedy Festival, Laugh Out Loud Comedy Festival, I'll be recording a Showtime special with Andrew Dice Clay and Joey Diaz and Eleanor. It should be a lot of fun. So enjoy the show. This episode is my friend Jeffrey Baldinger. Yes, that is his real name. So stay tuned and see you soon. Hey, this is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word Podcast. Today, my guest is none the other. Is it none the other?
Just none the other.
None of the other?
No, just none the other.
None the other. Is that true? I say it none or the other.
None of the other. None the other. No, it's not none the other. It's just none other.
None other. Okay, that sounds more. None other. My guest today is the Jeffrey Baldinger.
That's it.
He's a comic originally from
Minnesota.
Where? You're from Minnesota.
St. Paul, Minnesota.
What kind of place is Minnesota? I think it seems very like a very white place, very industry based kind of place.
It's very. I'm from the city, the Twin Cities, so I'm from a metropolitan area. It's despite. Rumors to the contrary, it is a very diverse place. It's a huge Hmong population, a huge Somalian population in Minnesota, as well as a huge white population.
That's kind of everywhere, isn't it?
That's
called America.
That's the world, kind of. Besides, or that is America.
I think technically, on paper, white people are minorities.
Yeah,
I think in the global numbers.
I think if you're talking numbers, then yeah, we might be minorities. But if you're talking just straight up running shit, I think we are the majority.
Oh, there's some horrible curtain with some half lizard, half fucking donkey.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about
eyes.
the top, then yeah, it's the lizard people. But
what do you think? How many people do you think? I've seen various YouTube and kind of what is it? Conspiracy theorist videos and stuff, and these kind of address to these like Skull and Bones and Illuminati. How many people? What do you think it looks like the Last Supper?
I'm sure that it's some. Well, I don't think that they're celebrating Passover, but but I think that there's some sort of meal going on where there's feasting on the eyes of. The power,
because I
hungry.
think there's a dog fight going on here. This is very authentic.
Mike Vick. Let's take it elsewhere.
The dog barked at.
It's not topical anymore, Michael Vick. So I apologize for that reference.
The guy almost got bit by a dog. He seems to be under the influence, and he said he's just been sobered up quick.
Nice
little dog. The dog's.
Looking at me now.
Perry doesn't like Latino guys with casts on their punching hands.
You know what that tells you is their owners don't like Latino guys with casts on their hands.
They sense it.
Dogs sense racism in their owners. So
it's stress related. It is interesting how you can telegraph that.
Yeah.
But I think that works. You can walk into a room of people, and just sometimes people just have a stink on them, and you're just like, what is going on behind this fucking?
You
facade?
see it in their eyes. And they may seem like the normal guy, and you're talking to them. Then all of a sudden they'll say one thing, and you're just like,
"You're
what?
a psycho.
You are not a good person, are you? You're not the best."
It's better that than have it, because I think it comes with experience. But you kind of get an eye for it out of not seeing it sooner in other people.
Well, I think as comics, we also have a sixth sense for that sort of stuff.
Most
because
definitely.
What we do is observe the world and the people around us, and
See that girl's turd cutter?
I did. I saw you be distracted. I looked over. I saw exactly what you were looking at.
It
That
looked
is
like it's just
fine.
been spanked, too. That was the worst part. You saw the red marks?
Well, I saw you go over there and literally spank her. That's how it
she's
was
got
just.
a clearly allergic condition to grass.
Yeah.
Does her ass look like it's been eating at raspberries?
Hasn't been sitting in
This is
the
probably
grass.
not the best place. I thought it'd be nice to come out to the park. But
It's
we
very
got
beautiful,
two
but they're
ADD.
super distracting.
Yeah.
They're super distracting.
Fuck
There's,
it.
there's
You know
little
what?
kids and
I'm not going to be victimized
women
by my
and
situation. I'm going to focus.
animals all around and ducklings
You
going
said
around
you're
the
from
pond.
Nebraska, right?
No, that's exactly not where I'm from.
no, but let's get back to that. I'm very curious because as much as I've traveled, I've virtually seen,
None of Middle America.
None of the U.S. really.
Yeah.
Everything from California up to Vancouver,
Okay.
and then bits of New York, New Jersey, and
Well, you're from Toronto originally.
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Okay.
A lovely peachy place.
Well, Minnesota is a lot. Minnesota's
Population.
population's very big. Very big population. I don't know the numbers. I never bothered to learn that shit.
Hamilton's 500,000.
We're bigger than that.
Okay.
Definitely. The Twin Cities is is a major metropolitan area. It's got one of the best. I think I read that it's the third best theater arts
It's full
city.
of queers.
Full of queers. Got a bar called the Gay 90s.
Is
It's
it?
for real? Yeah.
I do like the titling in gay bars because they more times than not they'll play do a play on words.
Yeah.
And make it's comical and highly entertaining.
The gay community is very artistic. That's one thing that they
One
got going
time
for
a guy
'em.
blew me with a ribbon on the end of my dick, and I'm like, he wrapped it.
And it matched your eyes, which is great. It really brought
Bloodshot red
made
because
you-
I was tied to a table against
made
my
you
will.
pop. Made you pop all over himself.
There's kids crying. A picnic over from us.
Now the dogs are coming over here.
Oh, man, I hope these dogs don't like white people.
They smelled your scent and they want you. But no. So Minnesota,
Yes.
very good place to grow up. There's that term Minnesota nice. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but everybody's just very open and really it's a good sense of community out there. And I really enjoyed growing up there. Not that I had any other option.
School, university.
I went to elementary through high school in Minnesota. Then I went to college in University of Kansas down in Kansas.
Did you? I know currently you work and you teach kids how to speak Hebrew.
Yeah,
Did you
I am one
is
of those
that
Jewish people that you hear so much about.
Is that after? Did your degree that you studied for failed and you're like, fuck it, I got Hebrew in my back pocket.
I know
Daddy
how to
needs
do
a new pair of
this. I
shoes.
gotta figure out how I can make this work. When I was 17, I went to this study abroad program in Israel for my second semester of high school.
Is that a
my
defining
junior
moment
year.
which makes you a good Jew or a bad Jew? Like, if some people that bow out of that, because I know a lot of friends of mine
It was a
have
defining
gone.
moment in the sense that it was the first time that I had.
Are you in or you out?
It was the first
Pick a
time that
team,
I had
asshole.
really traveled across the ocean. It was my first. I had traveled to Canada a lot throughout my childhood and traveled all over the U.S. a lot. My family was
You have
always
more family in Toronto than you do in Israel?
not family. Just my dad had businesses up there, so I would go on business
that's
trips
right.
with
I
him.
did meet
yeah.
your father. Did your dad live in Toronto or was
No, he lives in Minnesota.
So he just happened to. Did he come specifically to see your show in Toronto?
He came specifically for business.
And
And
you were
I
plan
happened
B.
to be there
Oh, that's
also,
cool.
and so he was able to come out and watch me.
Do you treat your shows any differently when the old man's there?
I don't. I used to think that I would, but I never do.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't, or you're just.
When I first came out, when I first started doing stand-up, I was pretty squeaky clean, and so I never even. I was
Guilt.
never even
out of guilt.
Not out of guilt. That's just what I was doing, and it was never even an issue. I was like, why would I don't need to change anything for my parents. But
They're
then-
adults.
Yeah, they're adults. And then as my material matured and I started getting a little dirtier,
Sense of self.
sense of self, and just knowledge of what I thought was funny, I just continued to do that. And my parents whenever they've come to see me, which is a lot, they're very supportive, which I'm fortunate about. But
I think it's tough for people that come in with a meek kind of disposition, and then you're thrown into a scene that's full of lunatics and psychopaths. You really kind of... It's very sobering for somebody that's maybe been coddled through their entire... and then you're thrown to these lunatics.
And anybody I've seen...
I'm part of the problem. I think it's funny. When I first met you, I'm like, oh, this is going to be like a SEAL clubbing. This is going to be beautiful. My friend, a dear friend of mine, Dylan Mandelson, when I'd met him, a virgin in his 20s, his parents babied him, took care of him, they loved him, and all the things that I did not have.
Yep. But that's the thing. But like,
I tortured him.
Yeah, but like
lovingly.
when we met, that I loved what you were doing. Like, it wasn't a SEAL clubbing at all for me. It was just like, yes, this is just so different from what my voice is what your voice is, and it's just like I loved seeing that dichotomy, but in the show, I love when there's completely different types of performers.
You're a sane person, and in the sense that I think a lot of comics, you're like, why would you want to create that kind of turmoil on stage? You know, you have plenty of subject matter to choose from, and you've chosen those words. Well, good luck with that.
Good for you.
If you had said, if I had handed you a page of dialogue of just a random show that had been transcribed and said, hey, do you think you could make this work? Do you think you? I love to see you.
I think I could make that work.
That would be hilarious. That would be funny. And your poor mother, crying in the front.
She would be the first to be.
So
here's the thing, because I've had like those bits and material where it's like I'll warn my parents beforehand. I was like, look, you're probably not going to want to listen to this joke from me. You know, that's what I'll do. I'll warn them ahead of time. Like when my dad came to see me in Toronto, I warned him about it. It's like, look, Jason,
took the heat off for you though, didn't it?
Exactly.
I'm everyone's fucking scapegoat.
As dirty as I could be, I have nothing on you as far as dirt goes. But
he probably held you and cried after your show.
Like I had this joke about what was it? I had this joke about it never really worked because people just couldn't get on it. But it was an AIDS joke, and I was doing this thing about
very, very popular in the 80s and 90s.
Very popular in the 80s and 90s. But I remember telling my mom about it before she came to see my show. I was like, "Look, Mom, I'm going to do this joke," and she was like, "Okay, I get it, but I'm not going to like it, so I just won't come to the show tonight." I was like, "All right, fine."
Yeah, but give it a chance, you old broad. You might like a good AIDS joke if it's cleverly done. I've seen
That's
some.
The thing.
You can tackle any kind of subject matter in stand-up comedy. It's just how you put it together. It's got to work. You know,
as long as you're, any joke, as long as it's done from an honest place, what you really want.
David Tell.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sure I've brought him up numerous times on the show, but there's the way he paints it. It's so horrific and undeniably hilarious. But yeah, anything is possible.
Yeah, the problem comes when if you're doing jokes that are of quote unquote offensive nature just to be offensive, like just to say it's like, oh, I'm saying all this shit, fuck shit, goddamn,
dropping head bombs,
like just because like free speech and I can do whatever I want. It's like that's when
cop out though.
That's when you get into trouble. That's when it's not clever. It's not, you're just saying it to say it. That's not impressive. That's not talented.
Yeah, I get sometimes these characters you're describing tend to be drawn to me in certain points because they think that we're like, oh, we do the same kind of thing. I go, no. Like
they're just hearing the words and they're not hearing what your whole
reactionary
message
stuff.
And what your whole context is.
I do exercise that on stage occasionally, but it's more of a for me. It's just me being bullying the audience,
right?
But
I know
why
I have
they're
a question
not
for you. We got to see you at the Improv the other night. Go up and you were doing your thing.
A couple nights ago.
It was a couple nights ago.
Right.
Yeah,
that was bad.
And the audience was maybe was a packed house, but there was maybe a pocket in each section of the improv that really dug you, but everybody else was kind of like not sure.
On. Was it the Loud Village show?
It was the Loud Village show.
Okay, yeah.
You went on right after.
I remember seeing you there.
We talked for a long time. How drunk were you?
I was all right.
It was me. We were talking. You, me, and Ryan Stout were talking.
I had
you
an
went
edible, and I'd kind of gone somewhere else. I didn't expect to go on, and that happened. So yeah, I wasn't in myself. But
but so
pockets.
My question is the pockets that really dug you, but then everybody else was just not. They didn't know.
Split decision.
They weren't with you. They weren't. They weren't having what you were given. What happened? How do you
weather that?
Weather that. How do you? Well, like, what's your like?
I'm content to lose.
If something like if you go to the Jerry Seinfeld philosophy, where he's like, if I'm not with the crowd, I fall back on my material and I just work the material until I get them back. Or there's the Dave Chappelle philosophy where it's like, if they're not with me, we'll just do whatever he goes with the flow of the.
I think that they're
that
both,
sort of thing.
Both right in certain cases.
Like, what do you do?
What I do, I want them. I really do want. I always expect. If I had everyone like what I did, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
In an eclectic, but because I like to make the audience pick sides, and sometimes it's 10-90. Sometimes it's 50-50.
Yeah.
I consistently I like it 80-20. I could fare to lose 20% of those people. They were never interested in me as a person or as a performer. And if
do you prefer to start in a hole?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like, do you if they're like because you followed Rory Scovel and he finished really hot, and so do you prefer like when something happens like that? Do you prefer just like, all right, we're gonna start from below scratch?
Yeah, I like the idea of doing a reset under my conditions.
Yeah.
It becomes, I want a Stockholm situation
right.
with the audience. I want them to initially be kind of, well, I'm not sure, and then gradually find this kind of tainted love
right.
with the audience where they feel like they've been violated, but they're in tears from laughter at the same time.
Right, and they're not always comfortable with why they're laughing.
Yes, that's great to see somebody that's completely judged me out of the gate, and then within minutes, sometimes it takes the entire show, and then I get them at the very end, where I won't leave until this one stern scowl of disappointment, and I feel around in their guts, and I look for tumors and lesions, and I start squeezing them, and I'm like, "You've got what we've got, you piece of shit."
You know what we are.
And I think more times than most, I don't know, I don't have any way of testing this, but I have a gut feeling that a lot of these people that are offended on behalf of various subject matter or what have you, groups,
they're just not comfortable with themselves,
and or have some horrible secrets of their own, and they're raising a flag to put a distraction away from. They're putting blame on somebody because there's something about themselves, like they're not having it, and it's interesting to see that, and it's disappointing when you see people that are saying this. Oh, there's a dog running with it. Because the dog's legs are 2 inches, and he's lapping this guy who's clearly a healthy runner.
Yeah, well, animals being what they are.
Is that an animal? What kind of rodent is that?
It's a big rat.
It's a rat.
Just a big rat
See,
with a dog face.
if you shaved it, yeah, they do like the log dogs.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I was here, I want to tell you how Jesus has changed my life.
And, please do. Tell me how.
Speaking of Jesus,
yeah.
What's the deal with?
Speaking of Jesus, what's the deal with crucifixion? Right?
No, Jews for Jesus. I never
Christians.
You mean? Is that what they are?
Well, yeah. Honestly,
that's
literally what a Christian is.
I thought it was defected Jewish people that have taken up Christianity and said, "Hey, it's okay over here too. We're here."
Yeah, that's what Christians are.
Is that what it is?
Christ following. Here's the thing: you cannot be Jewish if you believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Like that's
regardless of your parents.
If you believe that Jesus Christ is the Messiah, then you are not Jewish.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
It sounds like, well, why can't you be Jewish?
What does that make me then? If I don't believe in Judaism or Christianity, does this make me just kind of a smart white guy?
Oh man, well, you are white.
I believe in nothing.
That's fine. That's good. That also makes you.
But I do
you know,
cry
that
for
could
God
make you
when I get kicked in the balls.
That makes you. That makes you half of the population of Israel don't believe in anything.
Yeah, isn't it?
Or the half of the Jewish population in Israel are like you're either Orthodox or you're atheist, basically.
Are atheists in Israel? Are they kind of shunned? Are they lepers of the society? Or is it just kind of like, oh, okay?
It's actually the opposite. I'm pretty sure. I mean, the mega religious get shit all the time because they don't serve in the army. They don't do anything like that. That's one of the things that a lot of the secular Israelis are
I saw videos
upset
of
about that.
Orthodox in the military in a news show or something. Have you ever fired a gun?
I have.
Were you in the military?
Training.
Training. I was in accounting.
I was. It was when I was in Israel. We did a military.
I think that
week.
should be mandatory for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it would probably be good for motivation and your physical health and
discipline.
And discipline. Yeah. I think there's too many people have gotten too soft and I'm a bit of a hypocrite. I went to Air Cadets for like a week. I couldn't handle it. But something that was more of a 6 month to a year kind of intensive thing, and then you kind of graduate, you come out, you're in the best shape of your life.
Yeah, and it's
it's
important as far as health-wise, but it's...
You know how to follow a clock, be places on time, you know, diet, exercise, instruction, skills.
Moderation.
Know? Yeah.
And it's just, the reason, I mean, it's a necessity in Israel to...
Greece is like that.
Yeah.
Or was like that. Is Greece even still a country anymore? They have a little problem over there. I have a friend. He's in a death metal or band from Greece called Rotting Christ, and he says that
like a great band.
He's got it's cool Rotting Christ.
Yeah.
And he says that he's got to get a gun to protect himself. It's all
my teachers all had handguns in Israel. We would go on
person?
on person, yeah. And we had security and army personnel whenever we'd go on field trips. You know, I mean, yeah. It's a reality over there that's like, you could get blown up at any given moment.
I was watching a video, a live link of. Guys trying to get into Israel, and they were going through, but they had a black and white. It was obviously from maybe a helicopter, and they were in camo going through the grass. There was like 6 of them, and they've been tracking them. Like, okay, now kill them.
Yeah,
and just boom, 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 boom.
The thing is, like,
done.
You
could see the panic too. You could see them. They were going. You just shimmy in, and they're taking shots. And then the front guy gets up. I guess they'd seen him and started. And then they just dropped the bomb and turned everything into ground beef.
Yeah, I mean, terrorism is real over there. You know, it's like there's. I mean, I haven't been in about 8 years, but there was a time when I was 17. I was there for 2 months, and then I went back about 6 times after that for the next few years, and so like. Between the years 2004 to 2000 and
some shit's going down.
There was, it wasn't one of the worst times over there. It was actually pretty tame in comparison to a lot of like the bus bombings and the movie theater bombings and like all that shit. But there was some attacks that just were like, holy shit, that happens over there all the time. But at the same time, if you're smart about where you go, like.
Time of day.
Time of day, not go on a public bus all the time. Like, if you don't need to or whatever. Like, if you're a tourist and you're going over to Israel and you're just smart.
You go in the store to pick up, cigarettes, and it could be you got to really want those cigarettes.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like at any given moment in Chicago, you could get shot up. You know what I mean? It's like,
sure.
It's no more. It's more. It's perceived as more dangerous because it's the Middle East and it's the conflict and it's all that stuff. But it's like there are parts of America that are way more. I think Detroit is ranked one of the most dangerous cities in the world or something like that.
Yeah, I think it might be the new murder capital.
Yeah, and so it's like I'd rather be in Israel than in Detroit. No offense to my Detroit fans.
And
Not that I
it's
have any, but
and it just don't be stupid.
yeah.
I go to South Africa, and there's a place in Johannesburg called Hillbrow,
Yeah.
and that's was the murder capital for a long time, and I wanted to go see it, but I wanted to go with a friend of mine who I trusted, and could see how things could go bad very quickly.
Yeah.
And it's not a place to go down and to decide to go do some grocery shopping last minute. It's
No.
you got to strategically. It was days, and then we went and.
Well, it's like if we went a couple blocks south of here,
Is it East LA?
East LA, if we went down to MacArthur Park after sundown,
Yeah.
that's like we don't want to.
Or anywhere in my hometown
Yeah.
at any time of the day or night. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a war zone? It's actually not. I haven't lived there in a while, and it is getting a little nicer. But my hometown was a fucking. Oh my god, there was so many just murderous crime and drug. It's a Michael Moore movie. What
Yeah.
was that one in Flint, Michigan?
You talking
Mac
about
and Me or he did
the Michael
Bowling for
Moore?
Com-
But I know who
What
Michael
was the
Moore
first
is,
one he
but,
did? It was based on the car company going out of business in Detroit.
Oh, I don't know.
You haven't seen that?
I didn't see
the
that one.
lady kills a rabbit with a pipe and everything. It's fantastic.
Who doesn't, right?
Have you
Killing
ever
rabbits with a pipe?
Have you eaten a rabbit before?
I haven't eaten a rabbit. I ate a kangaroo.
Ari shit his pants after he ate a kangaroo.
Who?
Ari Shafir.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he laughed too. It's good. Finally, ding dong, the
Great.
Wicked Witch.
Yeah. Awesome.
He was in Australia and doing a show, and they gave him kangaroo, and I guess it had been rotten. And he was on a hike and shit his pants.
Kangaroo down there are like deer in America. That's like
Wild.
They're all around. Like the way
Cattle.
the way we think of deer in America is like Australians think of kangaroo down there.
It's weird how society has kind of glamorized certain breeds of animals and things, rabbits and stuff. Squirrels.
Do people glamorize rabbits?
Well, not glamorized, but
I would say the last word I would use to describe how people see
I got
rabbits
heat
is
stroke,
glamour.
man. It's hot out here. No, like they make them cute, like when they cartoon an animal.
Yeah,
that's why people
when
get
Bugs
eaten by
Bunny,
bears. Give them peanut butter, honey, like Winnie the Pooh, right?
Who has done that to a bear?
Give it honey?
Who's given honey
I
to a bear?
told you, my hometown's fucked up. We used to do it every Wednesday.
Yeah, it's fucked up or just mentally retarded.
Yeah, there's been a lot of head trauma. It's usually from the beatings the mothers get while they're pregnant. They have Kick Your Wife's Cunt Tuesdays.
Well, why wouldn't you?
4 to 3. That's 4 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yep.
And they have Hard Liquor and Handgun Night is every Sunday.
They have a purge, only it's purging your bodily
it's
fluids.
It's like that. If you watch the Purge at half speed.
No.
No, but when you do, when you
haven't
download,
seen the movie at half speed. No.
When you download,
seen it in reverse. It's a very uplifting film.
Yeah, it's good. I heard everybody lives. They come back. It's a bunch of zombie comes back to life.
They found the cure for crime and violence.
I think the Purge is a great idea.
I
think it should be open season on people. Maybe
there's rabbit season. There's duck season. There should be people
season.
Why not? Elmer Fudd would have a field day.
What would be your weapon of choice during a purge?
Whew, I don't know.
Feather duster, high heels, some horror rouge. You're just gonna make your prettier self for the rape.
Spitball gun,
Pea shooter.
Just
a McDonald's straw with a napkin.
People in the eyes. God, just irritate people.
I'd probably want one of those guns that you see in video games with a chainsaw attached to the front of it.
Yeah.
And
a chainsaw launcher.
Chainsaw launcher. I think that's called a drunk with a chainsaw.
Spud launcher.
A potato gun.
Potato gun.
I heard that those things hurt if you get hit with a potato.
I would. Yeah. My friend used to have a potato gun and launch it at his neighbors.
I saw a girl get hit with a hockey puck right in the cunt. I really felt bad about doing it, but you know what?
Yeah.
She hip checked me in the first period, and when I say first period,
by hockey puck, do you mean your dick and her cunt?
No, it was a legitimate game. She got her period all over the ice.
Oh my god!
I don't watch hockey. That'll come to a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah, you're from Canada. You don't play hockey?
Never.
Yeah, I get that same thing. I'm from Minnesota. I don't play hockey.
What's the NHL team in Minnesota?
They're the Wild. No.
What
Yeah.
were they before?
They were the North Stars.
Oh, okay, that
But
sounds a
then
little more familiar.
the North Stars moved down to Texas, became the Stars, and then for 10 years, Minnesota didn't have a hockey team. Then
No?
finally we got the Wild, which they're a great team, but it
The
just
Wild.
the
What's their
worst,
logo look like?
It looks like
A hobo pissing against a
wild.
brick wall?
It just looks like a wild
Yeah,
wild
it-
tundra.
Dude, this is radio. People don't. You got to describe this
I'm not going to
wild.
describe the Wild.
What's the colors?
It's green and red and yellow.
Nice, because everyone
you know.
loves Christmas all year around.
Everybody loves Christmas. This is the happiest time of the year.
I think that's the same color than the North Stars was. Did
No.
they keep the color scheme? No.
No.
I never got into it.
But the Wild, the great team, horrible name. It sounds like a soccer team name. The Wild. I don't like it.
I did go see a soccer game once.
Congratulations.
The Galaxy, from Mexico. There's Chihuahuas or something. I don't know. It was interesting, but I don't like rooting for like teamed up millionaires.
Yeah.
But this kind of they don't need it.
More of an amateur sports fan.
I need 100,000 people cheering me on.
But yeah, they'd probably all be booing you, wouldn't they?
I've had some good boos.
Yeah.
Have you ever been booed?
I have been booed.
What?
Yeah, I've been
No.
booed before. Yeah.
You seem pretty proud of yourself. It's like your foreskin grew back or something.
It was great. It was one of my first times at the Improv, and I was setting up my joke, and this lady in the front row just started booing me.
No.
Just started like boo, boo.
And you're at the Improv, so
And-
you want to throw a chair.
But
you gotta be
it was
diplomat. great.
great because it was my first chance to deal with a heckler in this way at one of the major clubs, you know. And so I was like, I stopped my set. I was like, "Are you booing me right now? You're booing me, or are you booing my material? You know, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Are you booing just the night in general? You're not having a fun time tonight?" And she's like, "I'm booing you." I was like, "What? That doesn't seem
Let me
right.
describe her.
That doesn't seem right."
20-something, kind of cute, and drunk.
Yep, exactly.
That's like the plague of the comedy circuit, is these stupid, drunk cunts
But the best
come
part
to the
was
comedy
though.
show.
Is I was like, that doesn't seem right that you're booing. It seems like you're booing yourself more. But do you know how bad it feels to get booed? Everybody, let's all boo her. Let's all boo her on the count of three. Everybody, and this is like a packed house.
Yeah.
As I said 1, 2, 3, everybody booed her. I was like, boo, and I was like, now I'm going to start the joke all over again and go through it just for you.
And you can fuck off too.
Yeah, exactly. No, at that time I wasn't swearing on stage, but
Yeah, well done. It is good. You can
but it
turn
was great.
You can turn
it
a
was,
room.
Like, it was the first time I got booed, but it was also one of my favorite times on stage.
It's definitely a skill to have.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing a comedy and untraditional. I think we're going to watch that lady's dog fuck her leg right there. Oh, no, he settled down.
Yeah.
This
is
dead
great.
end.
This is great radio.
We're distracted by the possibility of the small
the
dog
pup
banging this lady's leg.
Humping the green-legged lady.
Do you want to describe where we are? This is very...
It's a beautiful place. It's Echo Park.
I'll put a picture on Instagram if anyone's listening.
There is a... is anybody listening to this? How many downloads do you get?
I had
2 or 3 from
No,
yourself?
there's a couple thousand subscribers.
That's great.
That's something.
That's something, yeah. It's mostly spam, but yeah.
I started off with that. They're all dropping off like flies now. But I'm still figuring this
well,
whole racket out.
as long as every 5 minutes we have 5 seconds of dead air, I think that we'll keep their attention.
This is where we'll do the editing.
Yeah.
There's never any editing. But we've had... okay, so what are we looking at here?
Well, you said you were going to describe the area.
It's pretty interesting. Echo Park.
There's a lot of
is
trees,
like
a lot of palm trees. You know, all the palm trees in
Mexicans.
California are imported. There's no natural palm trees.
I was telling somebody that. That's
Yeah.
my kind of go-to thing of,
Yeah.
oh, I bet you didn't know
By
this
the
about
way,
California.
little known fact, little Cliff Clavin for you.
They
Little known
are
fact.
Not indigenous.
That's from Cheers, the show from the 80s.
Oh,
Little known fact. Cliff
an
Clavin.
angel's dying.
Oh. Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, right?
Or an erection.
Well, that's what angel wings are.
Isn't
They're just
that
erections
The Beautiful
on their
Life.
backs.
Didn't every time a bell rings, an angel gets
his
its
wings.
ding-a-ling?
I think so. You know, I never actually saw...
You know what it means when you're in
Oh, are you
hell?
thinking of A Wonderful Life? right?
Yeah.
Beautiful Life was the Holocaust movie.
When, well, yeah, that's right.
You know what's funny about A Wonderful Life is that it flopped at the box office. It was one of the biggest flops, and so they let the rights.
Benini. What's his name? Something Benini.
No. That's a Beautiful Life. I'm talking about A Wonderful Life.
Oh, Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Oh, the
film, the
classic film.
The classic film.
Oh.
The only reason it's a classic
I
is
thought
because
I saw Benini get an Oscar.
Yeah, no, that A Beautiful Life was a really, really great film. We got a lot of accolades. But A Wonderful Life actually flopped at the box office. Was one of the biggest flops, and so the studio let the rights go, and so the television networks were able to play it for free, and that's why it became this classic. Is because they could just play it over and over and over again.
It's amazing,
and so that's why it became so popular.
It's kind of like pop music.
Yeah,
they just beat it into you.
Yeah,
they don't really give you. You have no choices. The radio out here is fucking horrendous, man. It is outrageously horrible. It's the same 6 songs on every station. Yeah. But then I'll listen to classical or classic rock.
I do the
classic
rock stations or the jazz stations or whatever. It's just
atmospheric.
Yeah,
noise,
white noise.
But there's palm trees here.
There are palm trees here. Indigenous to Florida.
You can
not
hear
indigenous
the
here.
water. This is amazing. The weather is so.
Hear that?
So yeah, let's do. Yeah, that's water.
It's beautiful.
And there's a little frog pond. They got
paddle
some netting
boats,
up there. Fucking tourists in paddle
everybody's
boats.
on their picnic baskets,
picnics and dogs. It's quite nice.
Dogs humping rabbits and ducks hunting geese and.
Oh, imagine coming out here with a rusty shotgun and just start shooting birds down in the water. What the fuck are you doing?
Be great.
What do you mean?
Everybody's
what am I doing?
It's duck season, y'all.
they're just
sitting there. You ever had foie gras? Foie gras, right?
Is that duck liver?
That's duck liver.
Foie gras.
Foie gras. Foie gras.
I don't do organs like that.
It's good stuff.
I'll do just at a party or something. I'll put a little pate on a cracker.
Yeah.
And then I'm done.
Well, you don't want. It's really rich. It's
rich.
overwhelming.
Yeah, and it has a very kind of coarseness to it.
Yeah, you need just a little bit of it.
What is your? I like food.
I love food.
What's your favorite food?
Love steak. Love burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Meat and potatoes. Yeah. That's kind of. I love making my own.
I got the munchies are kicking in now. That's what I'm talking about. Go on, but sorry.
No. There's a restaurant in Los Angeles called Stout Burger that has some of the best burgers in LA. I love going there. They have this thing called the truffle burger. There's truffle, mushrooms, and cheese on the burger. It's fucking delicious.
That is so good.
Yeah.
And, there's so many boutique burger shops in LA. It's getting a little excessive because you got the kind of A, B's, and C's of burger joints. And there's, I don't know, it'd be interesting to look on Yelp and just see how many hundreds of burger joints in various franchises.
There's a lot. I mean, Stout has 3 locations, I think, in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. There's one in Hollywood, one in the Valley, one in Santa Monica. But there's a lot of great, there's a place close by here called Booze, Boos. It's an amazing Philly cheesesteak place, a hoagie place. It's delicious.
Do you want to go there after this?
I do, actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Now I feel better. I just took a sigh of relief. I thought I was going to die of exposure laying out here stoned in the grass talking to you.
This place is really good. I love a really good... Cheesesteaks are really hard to do well, but when they are, they're fucking amazing.
It can go hot diaper in 2 seconds.
It can go really wrong because the meat dries out so quickly. It's but if there's this so Booze is really great, and there's a food truck called Ghost Pepper LA. They have my god, their cheesesteaks are so good. They're fucking delicious. Ghost Pepper LA, everybody.
I've kind of changed my diet a lot, but when I go off of it, I really do it. A Philly cheesesteak is probably something I should not be eating. And if you're on Snapchat, you know why. Do you get my Snapchats?
No, I don't have Snapchat.
I hate social media so much that I've decided to have the most heinous... Oh, yeah, I know you're loud. You can imagine. I don't want to swear, but if you add me
is it a lot of ball picks? Just sweaty
it's like
ball
a
pics.
constant stream of diarrhea out my ass. That's why this Philly cheesesteak. Add me, it's Jason Rouse 666 on Snapchat, and if you add, I'll send you.
All those Snapchat pictures don't delete off your phone; they save on your phone.
Oh.
There's like files on your phone. You can plug them into
really?
your computer.
Even video?
Yeah.
Oh no!
They did a whole thing on it. It's like Snapchat doesn't actually erase.
I
like
know.
anything.
I got to start wearing a
fucking Big Brother. Back to the Illuminati thing. It's like everybody's looking at you.
Oh, I know. Skype conversations. I heard they've been cataloging those.
Yeah.
There's enough.
All those
humanity.
quizzes that you take on Facebook. That's just them documenting information about you.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's running like a bottleneck of everyone's life. They're streamlining it through this little tube, and they're like, "Thank you, thank you."
Like,
thank you.
could
What
you have
movies do you
predicted
like?
how big I mean, people obviously did predict how big Facebook got, but like that's like the website people go to now. It's like
or point of reference. It's even kind of shadowing Google as far as searching.
Well, they're like gonna combine eventually. Like that's just what's gonna happen. And like, I've been trying to think about this. Like before Facebook happened, before 2004. Do you remember what websites you went to? Like, do you remember where you when you went on the computer? Do you remember what you would look up? And
seldom I
like,
leave that page. They've kind of got everything.
It's like what, like you just go online and it's like what did I browse the internet on? It's just like fucking
everyone's homepage is their Facebook account.
Yeah,
which is great when people leave them open.
You just fuck with them.
Oh man, my buddy, he Adil Fucky, Pakistani comedian born in Sweden.
Makes sense.
He's a motherfucker.
Yeah,
that cocksucker. Did
he get you good?
He got me he invited every Muhammad he ever could. So I had like 200 Muhammads thanking me for their friend requests. The motherfucker, right?
That's the weirdest
and
thing.
Just like,
that is the weirdest thing when people thank you for adding them as a friend.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's such
There's
a weird,
no value in that.
It's just like, thanks for the ad. What? You're welcome?
Yeah, I remember in the old days, rejection meant a backhander.
Exactly. But
now
they
people
just swipe.
Yeah.
But,
there's no love. How
it's just so. It's
detached.
It's so.
Next.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. No.
I mean, it's just so like no personality needed. It's just I want to fuck that app.
That's it. Yeah,
I want to fuck that app.
It's like the shittiest cattle auction. Ever.
Yes. No. Yes. No.
I don't know. Dating has changed. You've kind of come into it. I still had the leftovers from the Leave It to Beaver generation of the picket fence and you get the dog.
Well, it's like I'm like right in the middle. Like me and maybe a year younger than me are like the last generations who remember like actually having to call somebody on landline, a corded phone, ask. See
how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay.
And so like I would have to back in high school, I have to call a girl's house and have to ask their parents to talk to them.
Screened.
It's be screened by all that shit. And
looking back on that now, if you had the recording of that conversation.
Oh my God! I used to think all parents hated me.
Oh really?
Because
you had bad intentions. You were there to fuck their daughter.
But at the same time, it's like I always felt really guilty about calling somebody at home, bothering. I hated bothering people.
Because you're gonna fuck their daughter. Of course you're bothering them. What do you think they hated you for?
And they always had that voice on their there's hello, Sarah.
Yeah. There's just a pause.
Fucking this kid Jeffrey's on the phone for you,
and he wants to dump one in your asshole. Yeah. But you can't say that out of the gate. How do you propose that to the parents?
Well, you just have to I don't ask them to ask. I don't ask can I take your daughter out? I never was that. I was just can I talk to
Did you
whoever?
What kind of ploys did you did as a teenager to try and get pussy? Like embarrassing flowers.
I never did
flowers
that. I was
are
very
embarrassing.
blunt as a teenager.
Suck my cock.
No,
on the first date.
I wasn't you blunt. I
whipped my dick out on the first date.
Of course
in
you
the
did.
car.
Of course you did.
And you know what? It was a good move.
It was a good move.
I found many
relationships. Go big or go home, right?
Have you ever whipped your dick out in a car?
I'm not judging you. I have no class. Not without asking.
May I? That's so terrible. That takes everything away from whipping your dick out.
I've never just
it's the whole element of surprise.
I've never surprised
You never surprised anybody with your con?
I've never just been like, hey.
You're not a gambling man, are you?
Yeah, no, I can't gamble.
Yeah, that is a gamble. I would never do that in this day.
Because I'm the guy that if I did that, I'd get slapped with a sexual, like...
You're that guy.
Like, I'm the guy who they'd be like... I'd do it to the wrong person, and they'd just be like, okay, you're a sexual predator now, and I'm going to
the judge would
sue
go to
you.
me.
Yeah.
It's Rouse. Let him out. Get him out of here.
It's just Rouse. Fucking
It's
does
not
this
even a
all
real
the time.
penis.
It's not a big deal.
I've had my dick out so many times in public, I've claimed it as a dependent. Hey! It's Michael Beaver
Oh, my God.
and company. Hey, the light birds.
Podcast.
Come in, come sit
going
down.
on?
Yeah, yeah, it's a
What's going on? How are
Michael
you?
Beaver. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you.
When's your... Say hello. Hello, nobody.
Hey, how you doing? You got to keep your son back about 10 yards. It's the government
It's
thing.
his
No, I'm not
whole.
kidding.
He's a sexual deviant. He's
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing, neighbor?
Hey, dog.
What's going on?
When's your gig?
Jesus, are you a fucking cop?
One gig a year.
Oh, I love that.
What is it?
I love that the movie with where you were the drunk father at the Christmas
I
thing.
was an uncle.
You were an uncle. Yeah, you were awesome.
Do I have to speak up? Is
Yeah,
anyone
come
listening?
in. I was Boomer Phillips was in town. I don't know if you know Boomer. But
Nobody knows
he's
Boomer.
a comedic actor from Toronto. He's down for a week, but he was talking about that film, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that on Netflix with Dave Foley. It's funny.
We're doing a new one. We're shooting a new
A sequel.
No, we're doing a new movie.
Come in and tell us.
We're doing a new movie.
Hello, nobody.
Hello, nobody.
You're
Everyone
roped
listen-
in.
Who's
This thing isn't
directing
even
it? Who's
on.
writing it?
Who's sitting here to come see the movie? That's two people.
I see like Mike Beaver like every 10 years, and now I've seen you a couple times within a month.
Within a month.
I'm concerned too.
This is weird.
This is
I don't know if I really want to be that close with you.
Hey,
I rarely ever see you.
I've never seen you before.
Exactly.
This will be the last time.
he's gonna put us under the paddle boats.
First time, best time, last time.
exactly.
Enjoy your day.
Yeah, man.
Congrats on the movie.
Thanks for sending me the message. Now you can update me on your
September 16th at the Improv.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, at midnight, Saturday.
Midnight.
Tom Green's on, and then some lady, and then me. Just 3 shows. At midnight, Saturday.
How about Dice? What's that now?
Oh, that's September 6th in the Santa Barbara Comedy Festival.
Oh, yeah, that's way up. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you, though.
Okay, buddy. Take it easy. A fellow Canadian in Toronto.
The Beeve. Just see somebody staring at us.
Oh, Mike, the mic, it wasn't turned on.
You get more publicity that way.
Oh, man. Oh, well, that's our show.
That's pretty much it.
Where can people find you?
On Twitter at Jeff Baldinger, Baldinger, and on Facebook, Jeffrey Baldinger Comedy. And then I'm going to be at the Improv on August 7th, Hollywood Improv, August 7th, for my show Flyover Comedy. You can get free tickets by emailing flyovercomedy@gmail.com.
Don't kiss me on the mouth. Don't ask if you're hurting me. And if you hear the safe word, stop what you're doing immediately. Do you have pantyhose?